relevant information to help the committee in the deliberations of the 2027 proposed budget. So, additional confidential funds of 148,532,000 pesos, funding requirements for the creation of the Ombudsman Marshal and additional positions to augment the general administration and support units, motor vehicles for officials and general dispatch, and purchase of new building, office building, the amount of 6.5 billion. So we also would like to request the restatement of special provisions for 2026, which are already provided in the 2026 GAA. Number one is use of savings. The Ombudsman is authorized to use savings from the appropriations of the Office of the Ombudsman to augment actual deficiencies in any item of its appropriations for the current year, which may include the following purposes: printing and or publications of decisions, resolutions, and training information materials, repair, maintenance, and improvement of central and regional offices, facilities, and equipment, purchase of equipment, books, journals, and periodicals, necessary expenses for the employment of temporary, contractual, and casual employees, and payment of extraordinary and miscellaneous expenses and transportation allowances and other authorized benefits of its officials and employees subject to pertinent budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules and regulations. Use of income. The Office of the Ombudsman may use the income it generates from fees and other authorized collections subject to the pertinent section in the general provisions of this Act for purposes as may be specifically authorized therein or by applicable provisions of law. Release of payment of retirement benefits and pensions. Appropriations authorized for the payment of retirement benefits and pensions of the Ombudsman and his or her deputies, the Special Prosecutor, and all qualified officials and employees of the Office of the Ombudsman with salary grade 26 to 29 under Section 2 of RA 11059 shall be released directly to the Office of the Ombudsman, subject to the computation and conditions prescribed in applicable retirement laws, rules, and regulations. Retirement of the Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or the Special Prosecutor. Service for a full term for purposes of the retirement of the Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or the Special Prosecutor under RA 11059 may be satisfied if the concerned official has rendered a continuous service in the Office of the Ombudsman of at least 2 years as Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or Special Prosecutor, and has rendered a cumulative service in the government for a total of 7 years, including the 2 years rendered continuously as Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or Special Prosecutor. In any event, an Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or Special Prosecutor who has rendered at least 7 years in government with the last 2 years of the service having been rendered continuously in the Office of the Ombudsman as Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, or Special Prosecutor shall likewise be entitled to retire and receive during the residue of his or her natural life the same benefits provided under RA 11059. An official or employee claiming retirement benefits under RA number 11059 may only do so once. So these provisions concerning use of savings, use of income, release of payment of retirement benefits and pension, and retirement of the Ombudsman, Deputy Ombudsman, and the Special Prosecutor are indispensable safeguards that uphold the office's constitutionally guaranteed independence and fiscal autonomy. It is earnestly hoped that the foregoing provisions will be included in the General Appropriations Bill that will be passed by the House of Representatives. So, in closing, it cannot be denied that the Philippines struggles every day with the problem of poverty and corruption. Indeed, there is a positive association between corruption and poverty. Corruption affects all of us, endangers our national life. It makes the poor poorer, reduces incidences of corruption, increases government savings that can in turn be used for poverty alleviation projects of this administration. Thus, the Office of the Ombudsman earnestly hope that the House of Representatives, in considering the Office of the Ombudsman's budget for 2027 and that of the succeeding years, would realize the crucial role it performs in the investigation and or case build-up and enforcement of administrative, civil, and criminal liability, to promote efficient service by the government to the people through its proactive approaches. The Office of the Ombudsman, in return, commits that the budgetary support it needs will not be spent aimlessly, but will be utilized with the usual zeal and dedication to enhance the confidence of the general public in the OMB as their watchdog, mobilizer, official critic, and dispenser of justice, because the Filipino deserves no less. Thank you, po, Your Honor.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Lim, for the Office of the Ombudsman's budget. Now, may I acknowledge before we proceed, the members who have also who are now attending this particular hearing. We have Vice Chair Lolita Javier, Representative Arlene Ayon. We have Vice Chair Maisa Sagarbaria. We have Vice Chair Bernadette Barbers. And the Deputy Majority Leader, Jan Baronda, and also Vice Chair Lollipop Uwano Dizon. And Vice Chair Loreto Amante. So once again, so now let us start the discussions. And so I remind our distinguished colleagues that each member is given 5 minutes. The clock is there. 5 minutes for questioning or interpellation, excluding the response of the resource persons. And when you hear the bell sound, it means that you only have 30 seconds. That's the sound. And you have only 30 seconds to wind up with your questions. As part of a long-standing and respected tradition of the House of Representatives to accord preferential treatment to the minority members of the House, followed by the independent members, and then the majority members in an alternating manner, the chair now recognizes from the minority. I have here the list now, and from the minority, we recognize the Honorable Representative Iris Marie de Mesa Montes, to my right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa lahat, Ombudsman Remulla, and to the Ombudsman family, magandang araw po sa inyo. Ilang katanungan lamang po mula sa Kababaihan Kabalikatan para sa Kapakanan at Kaunlaran ng Bayan or 4K Party List. Umpisahan ko lang po muna siguro sa mga numero. Maaari ko po bang malaman ano po ang current resolution and conviction rate ng ating opisina, and how does this compare to the previous years?
AO Bunoan will answer the question, Your Honor.
Yes, Assistant Ombudsman Bonoan, you are recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. As of June 30, 2026, the Ombudsman reached a conviction rate of 65.52% in the Sandigan Bayan. Now, you may ask what measures were taken by the office to improve the conviction rate in the past 5 years, and we actually have amended our rules of procedure to fast-track both the preliminary investigation as well as the fact-finding initiatives of our office.
So ibig sabihin po, sa current year po, mas mataas, no? Nag-increase po. Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am. As 2025, ma'am, our conviction rate in the Sandigan Bayan was 42% as compared to this year's 65.52%.
Thank you. Of